Greetings everyone, this is Danny from harrtravel.com, your cruise experts. And we have seen one comment over and over and over again, and our clients had reached out many times to ask the same question. We know that they're gonna have reduced capacity on early cruises, most likely below 50%. The question is, how do they get there? Are they gonna boot people off the cruise who had already booked it? Are they use a strategy like airlines do with bumping passengers? Stay tuned and we're gonna answer that question right now for you. So the most important thing to note is that for August cruises, which is when we truly believe cruising is meant to resume, why we're scheduled for August 1st on the Symphony of the Seas, what we have seen is that many people chose not to pay their final payment. So what that means is that the ships, from what I can tell, are already at or below 50% occupancy. Now this makes a lot of sense for Royal Caribbean on the Oasis class ships specifically, because they said in a recent earnings call that they can actually turn a profit at 30%. Now for the older ships, they're talking more about 50% to start to be able to turn a profit. When I look at my internal system, specifically with Royal Caribbean International, what I see is for all of those August sailings, all the top suites are completely gone. Now, if I go to the very bottom and look at the inside cabins, they are wide open right now. The other factor that you have to take into consideration is that 100% of every cruise that's booked on Royal Caribbean right now, passengers have the ability to cancel up to 48 hours out and retain 100% of their funds as a future cruise credit. So there are lots of forces right now that are pushing down the occupancy in a normal manner. What I see right now for August is I don't think they're gonna have to boot anybody off. I don't think they're gonna have to make any changes whatsoever. I think consumer demand and consumer spending right now will dictate that from the start. So the good news is on the cruise I'm scheduled on, the Symphony for the 1st of August, I'm looking at it right now, I'm scheduled on it. I have no concern that I'm not gonna be able to go on that cruise if it runs as operated. Now, as we progress through, I think there is a possibility that they're gonna have to rethink this. But right now for most cruise lines, they've already paid final payments into September and October, so they know the trends before they go back to sailing. They already know what's happening. But I believe that there will be some kind of consolidation, because initially all of the cruise lines have said they're not gonna come back with their entire fleet. They're probably gonna come back in Norwegian's case with maybe 3 ships, Royal Caribbean maybe 5 or 6, and Carnival has announced 8 ships that they're gonna come back with already. So what we think is that those other cruise ships that will have to be canceled, there's so much space on the ones that will sail that they may even be able to offer those the ability to go on that ship. Now, keep in mind there's other methods that you could take advantage of as well. Right now, they still have their bid for an upgrade program. So maybe you do book a lower category and you're able to bid for an upgrade, but I wouldn't count on that because we don't think that they're gonna eliminate entire classes of rooms. We think that the room that you book is probably the room that you're gonna sail in. There's just going to be a bunch of extra empty rooms on the ship to initially accommodate social distancing. Now, what's easy to do is look to see what's happening on land. Right now, people are back at Universal Studios in Florida, and we fully expect them to be back at Universal and Disney in middle July, way before the cruises are back to be opened up. So we can look directly to what's happening there and put it into the cruise industry. Now, personally, in the back of my mind, I am hoping that they get to the point where they do have to bump a few passengers. Maybe that's September, October, November. But I personally have been bumped from 2 cruises previously, and in both cases, it was an option for me, and in both cases, they made it worth my while. In fact, Princess gave me a free 30-day cruise because I was bumped off of a 15-day cruise that they couldn't accommodate because of some engine issues. So what I see is if they do get to that concept, it may be one of those situations where you end up with a much better situation, but I truly believe that they're gonna give you that choice because there's a lot of consumers that will jump at the ability to get extra compensation for not going on a cruise, essentially. So right now, what I would say is don't be nervous, don't be worried, sit back, put your feet up, watch one of the Harr Travel ship tour videos or Coco K and pretend that you're in paradise right now and get that pina colada ready because ships are coming back, and initially, you're gonna be traveling with a lot less people, which we believe will be a greatly improved experience. So when you're ready to book that perfect vacation for you and your family, reach out to Harr Travel and we will help create the vacation of a lifetime at an incredible value.